Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. These are 5 things we learned after losing against Everton. This is not a situation where we should be mad. It's not a situation where we should be angry at the players. It's a situation of frustration, not because of these players do not deserve being mad at. It's frustration because we are doing this to ourselves. This game started with us getting a favorable decision by the ref. Red card to Idris Aganagay. We had about 70 minutes in order for us to go into this game and win it. We did give up. And this is the key part. We gave up a thunderous strike. So things first that we need to do in this situation is that, first, our lack of sharpness is paramount when it comes to our depth. Our lack of sharpness is absolutely, truly devastating. Because when you look at Manchester United and you look at Ruben Amorim's style and what he wants to do, is that when he started this season, we started playing a very small squad. Why is that? Because our starting 11 is our most highest of quality and understanding in the system. I've spoken so many times without number, I can't even count, about how when Casemiro leaves the pitch, the drops and the next thing we get goals going in. Manu Ugarte has not figured out how to start defending on the front foot. It affects us big time, and it's a key thing today. And why is that a key thing today? Because when we had to take Casemiro out, when we lost Mateus Cunha, when we lost Benjamin Šeško, the sharpness of the people that came in to replace those players were absolutely dull. We were going to cut a steak with a butter knife. That is the lack of sharpness. It's not anything else. It's not lack of quality. Yes, the quality of our depth can be improved. In fact, it has to be improved. But in this situation, the key part is that Manchester United did not and could not afford to bring in depth into games because we could not win games 2-0, allowing the likes of Kobbie Mainoo to come in and see out the games. Because what happens in that situation is that when we bring in Kobbie Mainoo, Ugarte, Joshua Zirkzee, they score, and we then have to start finding ways to score. We saw that against Brighton. And so that right there is one of the most important things and one of the most important relevant reasons why we lost against Everton today. Second is that we need to go into the market. We need to go into the market and get a winger that would be able to play the back position. I hope and I wish it's Anton Semenyo. Because one thing is really clear to me. And if it's really clear to me, it's definitely clear to David Moyes. It's definitely clear to the likes of Brentford's manager that absolutely destroyed Manchester United. And that is, if you stop the right-hand side of Manchester United, you stop our attack. We need balance in that left-hand side. There's a reason Patrick Dogu is a 20-year-old. He should not be our first starting wing-back. He has not gotten his bearings when it comes to beating the man. We saw him in the first 5 minutes beat Seamus Coleman and beat him in a way that I was excited. All of a sudden, we saw a substitution in the 10th minute to bring on a more physical, a more agile fullback in O'Brien. And the moment Moyes did that right-hand side, or that left-hand side, that left-hand side was absolutely nullified. It was nullified. There was nothing coming out of there. And because Ahmad was playing out of position, playing on the right-hand side, Ahmad tried to do all the things that he could do. He was getting the most chances in the first half. And I was absolutely pleased by that. But don't get me wrong, Ahmad, he does not have a right foot. And playing on the left-hand side in this system, being a right-footed player in the number 10 position is absolutely paramount. Because what that gives you is angles to pass the ball in an overlap to the left-footed wing-back, or having the defender being caught in two minds. Should I follow the full-back, or should I attack the person holding the ball? And then that's where you see the split second that Mateus Cunha can get to round the post or round the ball around a defender and hit the back of the post. We saw that in Mateus Cunha's first goal for Manchester United. It's paramount that we have balance in this team. And we do not have the balance yet. And that is the reason why we need to go into the market and figure out how to solve the left-hand side of the team. Be it a wing back and be it depth for that number 10 position. Because yes, Mason Mount can do the job, but Mason Mount is injury prone. And so we need the likes of Semenyo. We were already touted to Semenyo, and that is the greatest thing ever. Now we need to go into the market and see this as an opportunity to capitalize on the 65 or 60 plus 5 opportunity that Semenyo is. And then we need to go into the market and find somebody like Anton Robinson of Fulham to lead the line and teach Patrick Dogu how to play the fullback or the wing back position. Go to Fulham. Fulham are reeling. And yes, Robinson might be on the older side, being that he's 28, if not 29. But you're bringing him to teach the next generation. You're not bringing him for 10 years at Manchester United. You also need quality and experience in this team that is growing. So that right there is number 2. Number 3 is our midfield. There's a problem. The moment Casemiro went out, now Everton were 10 men. And that's the reason why they could not capitalize on Casemiro leaving the pitch. That right there is the only reason that they could not capitalize on Casemiro leaving the pitch. Because Kobbie Mainoo's control of the game is not doing what we expect him to do. Plus, him and Bruno does not work. These are two very attack-minded players. Kobbie Mainoo, of course, has the ability to play that 6 with somebody that is a ruthless destroyer in João Gomes. A ruthless destroyer. That right there is the way we need to do it. Kobbie Mainoo and Casemiro. Somebody that can be more pragmatic, more conservative in the way they move forward in the pitch, allowing him to go forward. But I understood that we had the entire possession in the second half. And so Ruben saw that if I don't really need to worry about the ball going the opposite way, I just need to bring up the ball and find somebody that will pick the lock that is Everton's defense. But due to his lack of playing time, in fact, there was one creative pass that he did to Joshua Zirkzee. I wish Joshua Zirkzee had flicked the ball. Just utilize the pace of the ball instead of you hitting the ball really hard. In other words, taking the ball to brush your head to go to the back post. If he had done that, and that only comes with experience. So that right there is number 4 in this team, is we absolutely need to start taking advantage of the opportunities that we get. This is the 3rd game in a row where we have an opportunity to go top 4, and we did not take it. That right there is something that we need to address. We saw Arsenal do this so many times and times when it came to them going up in the title race. However, what we are seeing in Arsenal is an evolution now that they are on top of the table and are not relinquishing. They're not relinquishing that first spot. And that comes with experience. That comes with motivation. That comes with playing together and increasing the demands on each other. That right there is the key part. We need to understand that. Because today we had another opportunity. Liverpool had lost. Man City had lost. Newcastle winning. We had an opportunity for us to displace Crystal Palace in that 5th spot. Because right now the table sits Arsenal at 29, Chelsea at 23, City at 22, Aston Villa at 21, and Palace at 20. If we had won this game sitting on 18 points, that is 19, 20, 21. We are here and arguably close to Aston Villa. Aston Villa might just be above us by goal difference. And we would have cemented ourselves in that top 5 position for next week. And next week that we get to face Crystal Palace. And if we beat them, what we then see is that we cement ourselves not just in the top 5, but going into the top 4. Because when you look at the top three and who they have to play next, the easiest fixture for the top three is Leeds against City. You had Arsenal playing Chelsea and Chelsea playing Arsenal. So somebody's going to drop points there. So this is a bigger opportunity than we see that we need to do. And fifth thing that we learned in this game is that we have a lot more work to do. Ruben Amorim said that we needed to win this game no matter what. That was what he said. He said today was not a mistake on an individual, it was the team. Old Trafford was there saying we were here to give you a big step up. He literally said it because Old Trafford was humming. I could hear it from the TV while I was watching. Ruben Amorim, 20 minutes into the game, red card for our opponent, and we need to win this game no matter what. And he is not wrong. We need to stop being ruthless in a way that we punish people for giving themselves that deficit. We punish people for creating that amount of opportunities for us. We need to start punishing people. We needed to, and we need to. He goes on and says, we are not anywhere near the point we should be. And he's not wrong. We still have a lot of work to do. And so one of the bonuses that I want us to know and I want us to pay attention is that every single person is about to bring their knives out. And we need to protect this team. This team is very fragile and we need to protect this team. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that follow button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully, we can go into the game next week against Crystal Palace and right this wrong. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Hit that follow button. I'll see you. Peace.